The theater, I don't think we're as married to the self.
Yeah, thank you.
619, you're on the Thinking Atheist radio podcast. Who's this?
Hey, this is Zach Black. How you doing?
What's going on, Zach? What's your perspective on the Church of Satan?
Well, I think I have a unique perspective because I was a member of the Church of Satan from 1994 till 2010 when I resigned. So I had some questions for Gilmore, but since he's gone, I just wanted to state a few criticisms against the Church of Satan.
Yeah, we'll make them rhetorical questions. Go ahead. Hit me.
Okay, cool. One, the Church of Satan is basically a defunct organization. And as you mentioned, I heard you mention that their website looks like it was written on Windows 98. Well, that's pretty much when the Church of Satan died, was with Anton LaVey.
Man.
And, I got nothing against Peter Gilmore, but if truth be known, Peter Gilmore was not handpicked by Anton LaVey to be the high priest of the Church of Satan. It was actually Boyd Rice. And Boyd Rice declined it, and Peter Gilmore was given the high priesthood of the Church of Satan by Anton LaVey's lover and inheritance of the Church of Satan, Blanche Barton, as a gesture of respect for his financial support when Anton LaVey died, and Gilmore helped support her to get back on her feet.
Hey, Zach, do you think that there's like a cult of personality thing going on? I mean, do you think the church really died when LaVey died because he was such a figurehead? He was sort of the franchise player. He was the face and the voice of the Church of Satan. Do you think his passing sort of spelled the death knell for it, or what?
Absolutely. LaVey was very charismatic, very intelligent man, and Peter Gilmore is kind of a shadow of that. Nothing against Gilmore, but I think what really killed the Church of Satan.
Pleasant guy. I thought it was a very if you were to tell me 10 years ago I'd be interviewing the high priest of the Church of Satan and I would have a good time, I would have, I'd be seeing how hard you were hitting the mescaline. I'd be like, what? Oh, are you kidding? But, I found the guy to be completely pleasant. I don't know anything about him or the organization outside of that conversation. But I did have the thought that I still, at this moment here in 2012, think of LaVey when I think of the Church of Satan. And I wonder if LaVey being gone has really sort of diminished the overall presence of the organization.
Oh, absolutely. The LaVey died in 97, and the first few years after 97, there was an administrative thumb wrestling match to try to restructure the hierarchy of the Church of Satan. And what really killed the Church of Satan, though, wasn't Peter Gilmore. It was the Internet, because the majority of people who were joining the Church of Satan before the Internet were to meet like-minded individuals. And when the Internet came along, no longer is it necessary to spend $200 on a membership fee to meet like-minded individuals. You can just log on to this site or that site,
What were you like in the church? Did you participate in ritual? Did you have the sword? Did you have the naked woman on the altar? Did you have the organ music? Did you participate in the theatrics?
Actually, that's kind of a misconception. There are very few people that actually participate and have what they call now, it wasn't called this back then, but they call now active membership.
Dude, you're killing me.
An active member.
You're stealing my joy here. I have a mental image of the Church of Satan, and there's Gothic temples and huge pipe organs and virgins, and you're killing me now. You're sucking it all. You're saying it's sort of benign and dull in the big picture?
Yes. They do that for theatrics and when they're on media. But if you want to talk about Gothic black rooms and rituals, I did in my youth paint my room black and hang Baphomets and upside down crosses and had sex with many goth women. But that's never part of the Church of Satan. That was just my own.
Save that one for the autobiography, my friend. You bet. So you left. Why'd you wait so long to walk? If LaVey died in 97, you left the church in 2010. Did I hear that right? Why wait?
The reason why I waited was just because, well, first of all, I have to say that when I did join the Church of Satan, they sent me a 50-question psychological questionnaire ranging all kinds of questions from, like, what's your favorite color to, if you have 3 wishes, what would they be? Describe Satan to you, yada, yada. Filled that shit out. Fill that out and mailed the pictures. They asked for pictures of yourself, and then they mailed something back and said, you look like you can articulate the tenets and foundations and philosophy of Satanism. Well, so if you would like further involvement, please send a VHS copy. This is before CD and DVD and all that stuff. I'm kind of old, you know. And I was delivering pizzas when I was 18, so I didn't have, money to spend on $1,000 camcorder, whatever.
What they want to tape of you? What are you do? It's like sounds like an old dating site. I mean, are you having to do an audition, an interview on tape for these guys?
Basically, yes. And I said thank you, but no thank you. And I actually did talk to Peter Gilmore, once through snail mail. When the Anton LaVey died, I had a subscription to a publication called The Cloven Hoof and the Black Flame that Gilmore at the time he was the administrator for. And I never received my copies, and I wrote him a letter, and he basically told me in a polite way to, go F off. So that was my last communication with Gilmore. Granted, this was a long time ago. Maybe his attitude is a little different now, but
yeah.
But no, there was no real active involvement. Like, there was a handful of people that gravitated around Mr. Gilmore. And what I want to make clear here is that the majority of Satanists are not members of the Church of Satan. Granted, there are Satanists in the Church of Satan, but the majority are not the Church of Satan. And the Church of Satan wants you to believe that you can only be a member of or you can only be a real Satanist. And they stress that, real Satanist, if you pay the $200 membership fee and you get your little fancy red card.
So are all these offshoots just, come on, are they just kids in their basement trying to be cool? Are they attention getters? Are they legitimate organizations? Probably all the above,
majority, right? Yeah, all the above. Satanism is not a religion, it's a philosophy, and I don't think the word church should have anything to do in the same sentence or paragraph with the term Satan. Satan is nothing but the adversary, and Satanism is the adversary. Ism is being put into action, okay? And there are people capitalizing on this. There are death metal fans that dress like Marilyn Manson and piss off their parents, You have, just like Christians. You look at Christianity. Jim Jones, the mass murderer, he considered himself a Christian, and he was, I think, a he had some sort of title in the church, but he ended up killing 90 people or whatever, or however many people. That doesn't necessarily reflect on all of Christianity, just like Satanism. There are kooks, there are cool people. It's just a cornucopia of nuttiness.
So I get the vibe they just attract some of the more theatrical, some of the more flamboyant, some of the people who they have the kind of personality where they want their lives to have more, for lack of a better word, theater in it, and they choose this way of expressing their own lack of a belief in a deity and more of a personal responsibility to, as Peter said himself, pull themselves up by their bootstraps and own it. Do you think that's close?
I do think that's close, and it's been a very common criticism against Satanists. Satanists are nothing but atheists in Halloween costumes.
That's a great line. That's a great line.
I wish I could have coined that, but I didn't. I didn't say that. But no, that's a very common criticism.
In Halloween costumes. Yeah. Well, they've certainly given us some good discussion. Anything else before I move on?
No, that's good. I'm glad that Peter Gilmore came out of his hole and decided to do an interview and actually do something for once. But yeah, I've enjoyed listening.
All right, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it. Man, anybody else feel the temperature in the room drop about 20 degrees right there? Ooh, man, anybody else chilly? It's interesting what he said about having to record a video audition and send it into the Church of Satan. I just picture that you get sort of your membership packet in the mail. Oh, look, honey, you got a package in from the Church of Satan. And you open it up, and, there's the upside-down cross in it and some hand-carved devil horns and some death metal on vinyl and a little handy Beelzebub patch you can sew on your shoulder and just